Hello ladies and gents. Some of us have seen Bright Insight's Atlantis videos. He's made 3 of them. Now Jimmy's got a really cool channel. For those who haven't seen his latest stuff, he's recently said that this volcano in the Sahara Desert called the Rikat not only looks like Atlantis, but also that it is Atlantis. And he says the whole area was underwater, and it seems to have possibly been at one stage a sort of archipelago of various islands. He's also presented a great deal of other evidence saying why it's Atlantis. Now, Jimmy certainly speaks with conviction. What I like is that he is ready to see things that others don't and draw conclusions, such as his evidence of a huge flood wave apparent on satellite maps. The people I've known the best researchers are those who make conclusions into an area that people think is a coincidental area. Those are the ones who make the discoveries, because most of reality is beyond our understanding or any book you can read. But so well done on that. But I don't agree it is Atlantis. I've got my own ideas on that. But let's just say, for the sake of this video, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Rikat is Atlantis. I'd like to see some evidence of an actual city first, though, and indeed he's asked people to have a look. I don't want to be a critic or naysayer of a cool hypothesis. There are enough of those already. So here are 3 facts which possibly support Bright's idea. Later on in another video, we might get to 3 reasons why the Rikat is not Atlantis. If there are any mistakes or misrepresentations in this video, I do apologize in advance. Fact number 1. Old maps show the African coast underwater. Bright pulls out the Eratosthenes map with the Herodotus tribal names on it, and he shows the name Atlantes on the west coast of Africa, and he jumps on it like a lightning bolt, comparing it to Atlantis. He says, well, the father of history wrote this here, and he's after all the father of history, and this is where the Rikat is. Unfortunately, Herodotus never mentions Atlantis, so the connection isn't actually that clear. But what I notice is, boom, the west coast of Africa is sheared clean off, as if the drawer of the map is not certain where it lies, or even if there is a coast of Africa at all. Very suspicious, isn't it? Now, I've mentioned this crucial evidence in some earlier videos. It basically shows the map is not a chart, but a copy, and all maps that look like it are therefore also copies. I think it more than likely indicates these were all copied from an earlier master map. This master map was ripped in two, with the rest of Africa on one side, and possibly also included details of America. It's as if the margin of a book went right through the middle. Do you see that line right there? So, for instance, and this is interesting, I don't think anyone's picked up on it, but the Piri Reis map is also ripped in just the same place as this ancient Greek map. So it's actually the other half, showing America. And that's supposedly a medieval Turkish map. But this shows it's actually an ancient map. So, because what's the coincidence? They are both ripped in the same place. This is the actual proof, guys. And all these maps have the same sources. But here's the thing. What if it's not ripped in half? What if it depicts something real, something really interesting? What if it's not a tear at all? Could it be that it really is the edge of Africa? Yet we know Africa extends much further. So could this be indicating that the western part is underwater and it's not a tear at all? It's possibly showing the actual coastline, which is well inland from today. That would of course bring the Rikat closer to the coast than where it is now, possibly even making it an island. The island of Atlantis? Fact number 2. Did the descendants of the Atlantes people continue to build Atlantis-style cities? Think about it. Who inherited West Africa? The Carthaginians from Tyre. This was a Tyrian colony. Possibly upset Tyrians couldn't pay an exorbitant trading license fee back home and decided to set up a consortium closer to the Atlantic trade in order to dominate it. And look at the city they founded. One of the reasons they chose this place about the time Rome was founded, also founded by refugees as well, by the way. Rome was founded by refugees from the east during some dark age, was possibly because of the incredible natural harbour that Carthage affords from any storm. In fact, ships in this harbour could dock, and they built this huge structure where the ships could be covered like a garage. These guys weren't messing around. It was also a home for manufacturing and weapons of war. But doesn't it also look like Atlantis? Did the Tyrians mix with the Atlantes who also lived in the area? Is Carthage a new Atlantis raised from the dead? Like Atlantis, Carthage was also colonizing everyone under their system. Fact number 3. Old maps keep showing heaps of water in the Sahara, over and over and over. Something noticed by Charles Hapgood. This is why he said these old maps are from the Ice Age. I was also really interested to notice some circular river features in just the right places. As if these were the Rikat. If Bright really wants to continue this, I strongly recommend looking at ancient maps. Believe me, there are quite a few. I also recommend a good magnifying glass and a Latin dictionary. For example, look at this map of Andreas Warsberger of 1448. Look at these huge lakes and river systems inside the Sahara. And also, look at this Roman-era map by the Greco-Roman Ptolemy. Again, we see the map sheared off, indicating whoever knew this map also was interested in plotting lands inside the Atlantic Ocean on an adjoining map. Now, who the heck would want to plot an ocean unless there's something inside? And look closer. Hapgood points to a huge river system which pops out into the Mediterranean next to where Carthage is placed. That would indicate another reason why Carthage was placed there, but we don't know of such a river. You know, the world map of Idrisi also appears to show the Rikat in the Western Sahara. I mean, what is that thing? The world map of Pomponius appears to show a flooded Western Sahara of islands, and the point where it says Atlante, from that point extends a mountain range. The islands appear to be the Canaries or Fortunate Isles down there, or are they? They seem to be in the wrong place for that. The Piri-Reis map actually shows circular features about where the Rikat is from where rivers flow. Are they depicting Atlantis? And look at the Robert Thorne map of 1527. We can recognise the Rhine and the Nile, but I bet you can't name that enormous river in Morocco and Algeria heading to about where the Rikat is. And how about that other river cutting into Libya, ending in a kind of circular oasis? I bet you can't name that one. What's going on? Have rivers changed so much? Let's look at a satellite pic. Yep, they've changed. We could go on for hours and hours, as there is so much in these old maps. We talk about humans causing natural disaster, but you have to wonder what kind of a world it used to be where the Sahara is full of this detail, where you could sail and travel in ancient times, and now in our modern world, you can't even go there, because apparently it's not safe. Thanks for watching, everyone. By the way, I'm actually doing this, guess what? I'm doing this full time now, and I've cut out other stuff in my life in order to expand my research into ancient mysteries. And you know what? I'm not going to be shy. I do have a Patreon, so if you'd like to help me out exposing the truth, that would be appreciated too. I'd like to thank my viewers and patrons for making this possible. Cheers, guys.